So people often ask me how my coaching is different from your bog standard coach. So I've been playing with my inner child, as you can see here today, and I thought I'd use this as a way of explaining. The problem for most people is that they spend their whole time looking outside of themselves for what's going to make them happy. And I used to do this myself. I went on course after course. I was always looking for the thing that was going to make the difference and that was going to give me a sense of peace and well-being. And we have a habit of doing this, whether we're searching in terms of learning or things that we buy or relationships that we have with people. We think it's the things on the outside of us that make us feel a particular way. So we get really stuck in our heads, overthinking things, trying to work out what to do, how to make life better, how to solve the problems that we see that we're having in life. We're not feeling good and we just get caught in our thinking so much. Our thinking looks so real to us. It looks so important. Our problems look so big and so impenetrable and insoluble. But you know what? That's not the way life works, and that's the difference when I coach people. I'm interested in showing you how life really works. You see, our thoughts look real to us, our experience looks so real, but everything that we're feeling is coming from our thinking. And our thoughts are just like clouds in the sky. And sometimes, particularly in Britain, there's a lot of clouds in the sky. There isn't much chance of seeing the sun, and we can start to think maybe it's not there. But you know what? Really, we know how clouds work, and that clouds are constantly moving across the sky, and the sun's still shining behind there. We know at some point the clouds are going to move out of the way and the sun's going to come out again. It's kind of what it's like for us in terms of how life works. Our thoughts are moving across the sky like clouds all the time. Our well-being is the sun. It's always there shining in the background. Just because we're not always aware of it, when we realise it's our thinking that we're experiencing, we can know that our well-being is still there underneath it all. And when we see that it's just our thinking that we're getting caught up in, it just starts to make less sense to have a lot of thinking. Why would we bother getting caught up in our thinking and trying to solve the thought problems that we're having if they're just going to go away anyway? Why would you try and grab onto a cloud and try and push it out of the way in a particular direction when you know that the wind's going to blow it past anyway? And so my experience of working with people, my experience for myself has been that the more that I see, my experience is created from my thinking, and that's all it is. The less inclined I feel to do anything about it. The more content I am to allow it to just disappear when it's ready to, and the quieter my mind has become as a result. And the lovely thing about having a quiet mind is that you don't just sit in a state of bliss all the time. Some people, when they've been so used to being in their heads and achieving lots of stuff, they get really freaked out at the idea of doing nothing and that they might never do anything in their life again. But the reality is that when we have a quiet mind, when we're not caught up in our thinking, when there's less white noise in our heads, then we can tap into that source of wisdom and well-being and inspiration, and we start to live an inspired life. Thoughts start to occur to us that never occurred before. We start to notice opportunities out in the world and go out and do things and achieve things and create wonderful things in life. The difference is that we're not doing it to feel good, because we already know the sun's shining. We already know that we have our well-being within. But what a great place to go out and create things from. So if you're interested in having a conversation about this with me, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can contact me through my website, or you can find me on Facebook. I always love talking about this stuff, as you can probably tell. So feel free to get in touch and let's have a conversation. You never know, it might change your life.